So this video is going to be about Group B, and mostly we are going to talk about the most predominantly uh, star-studded side in Group B, that is Belgium. So this is Belgium squad on our left-hand side. As you can see, it's got goalkeepers in Thibaut Courtois, Simon Mignolet, and Max Zell. Sir, what are your thoughts on these goalkeepers? Any surprises?
Porto is gonna play, no more surprises.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy. Anyhow, looking at the defenders, there's Toby Alderweireld, there's Thomas Vermaelen, surprisingly. As you can see, Thomas Vermaelen plays in Japan now.
Yeah,
Dedrick Boyata, Jan Vertonghen, who is the captain, and Jason Denaye from Lyon. Again, I think it's pretty regular Roberto Martinez pickup. Do you have anybody who missed out or any?
no, I mean like
Hmm.
nothing surprising till now, but yeah, we're gonna come to the best part in the midfield. Yeah, midfield
Right.
is quite interesting for Belgium. Alex Witsel, Kevin De Bruyne. We're gonna talk about Kevin De Bruyne. Let's just have the squad first. Telemans, Thomas Munier, Leander, Dendroker, Castain, Yannick, the other Hazard, Vanaken, Chadley, and Pret. So I mean, like that's quite a explosive midfield. So what do you think? Who's gonna make cut to the playing 11?
Yeah, I think it is very. I don't know who has classified them as midfielders, but I do not think Thomas Meunier plays as a midfielder. He certainly plays at a right back or a right wing back. He has had an awful season with Borussia Dortmund. He was injured for a long time. Axel Witsel was injured for a long time. Apart from that, there was Timothy Castagne is an interesting choice. I think it's a very good pickup. Yannick Ferreira Carrasco is also a very good pickup. Torgan Hazard has not got that many game period, but he's a very good player again, unlike his brother. And there's Nasser Chadley. I do not know how he is making the squad, but he's there. Dennis Pratt was also injured for a long period of time. All these people who I have taken the name of, I don't think start. I don't think they should start. They might start it for Roberto Martinez because these are the kind of players who, especially Thomas Meunier, who have flourished for Belgium under him. So I think Yuri Tielemans, Kevin De Bruyne, and maybe Leander Donker. Maybe there's a slight chance he probably will play as a centre back if he starts. Uh, I think Torgan Hazard will be probably the substitute who will be coming on, and Yannick Ferreira Cross to play.
Oh yeah, quite explosive midfield you have there. So coming to the forwards, we definitely have Lukaku, Hazard, Martinez, Benteke, Batsushai, Doku. We're gonna talk about Doku, and then Trossard. So yeah, let's start from Lukaku. He has had no, he had an incredible Serie A season. He is the MVP this season. He has scored 24 goals. He has won the league. His confidence is just on the cloud nine. So yeah, he's gonna be a big driving force in this Belgium team. What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, certainly. Lukaku starts. I don't think there is a chance anybody in this planet does not start Lukaku on this planet. Like Romelu Lukaku, yeah, like you said, he's had a great season after, and even at when he was at Manchester United, he was not at the top of his game, sort of, so to speak. They did not. Still, he managed to play very well for the national side, which speaks volumes, I guess. And yeah, he's creatively doing very well. He's as a striker in itself, he's taking shots. He's so strong. Just he's almost bullish in the box. His shots are yeah. I mean, there's been some jokes about his first touch, but he makes it up more than anything with his finishing and his. If you see somebody like Lukaku running with the ball, it's just like running in front of. He's football's Francis Ngannou.
more and more plugins on the way.
Yeah,
Okay, so for the people who don't know who is Francis Ngannou, DMT MMA, our second channel, check it out. You're gonna know.
yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk about. We have talked about a lot about Lukaku. You're gonna
Hmm.
see, like, just rewind the clock 2 years back, Lukaku and Hazard. Hazard had all the confidence in the world. He was playing very well. Even in World Cup, he performed quite well. And on the other hand, Lukaku was not at his prime. He was just not doing things. The ball was not just connecting to his feet. And now things have changed. Hazard has been injured for most of this time at Madrid. His confidence is shattered. I mean, like, so what do you think? Is this Euro gonna be a turning point for Hazard, or the
It's
things just gonna slip
very
in?
it's very difficult to say. There's an interview that recently popped up in which Hazard has said that he's not yet back to full fitness mentally, but physically he's been feeling well. He's been training well, and yeah, Eden Hazard. I remember the last time I remember him playing very well on the international scene was that game against Brazil, in
Yeah.
which Kevin De Bruyne played as like a false nine sort of right winger, and he just screwed Brazil up. So yeah, and that game showed how competent Belgium's front three were, and competent plus so versatile. Versatility-wise, they were so great with Kevin De Bruyne, Eden Hazard, Romelu Lukaku, and Dries Martins. But I think in the forward department, they certainly do have a problem. Like if, for example, let's say on the wing, if Eden doesn't play well, you can always bring on Thogan, right? But if let's say if Lukaku was to get injured, the next option, the next best option that you have is Michi Batshuayi. He played for Crystal Palace this season, and he did not have a great season. Of course, not much game time either. Then the other option would be Benteke. It's like, but say again, so there's a couple of players who play as a striker pretty well, but I don't think they'll play as well as Lukaku in that holding role, in which his role is to trap the ball, keep the possession, make the runners run around him and lay it off, or run up to the final ball and latch on to the goals. So Dries Mertens can do that pretty well, but as we've seen with Napoli, he prefers to play on the left a lot more these days, either left or the right. He rarely plays through the middle these days. And there's Leandro Trossard. I really like every Brighton player. Let's just put it out there. Like any Brighton player, if you're above 35 or anything until and unless, I really like every Brighton player. I think Graham Potter agenda should continue in the whole world. And yeah, Leand, he might not get any playing time though, so which is a shame. But yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, look at it's definitely the golden generation of Belgium. They are ranked number one on FIFA, and if they can't win it this time, I don't think there's gonna be any other chance or the squad this deep that can we can see in for future for Belgium at least.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Especially since they've not selected Adnan Januzaj this term. I know he's probably 28 now, but Adnan Januzaj had his own benefits, but I don't see a point of selecting Nasir Chadli over him, which makes no sense. Again, but they have a little bit. They've also picked somebody for the future who is supposed to carry Belgium into the future, Jeremy Doku. And I really want to call him Jeremy Goku Doku, but I'm sure ये कट कर दूंगा मैं. Jeremy Doku has been one of Europe's best dribblers in this term. We know when Stade Rennais have a good winger, the whole world knows about it. The last time Stade had an upcoming winger. His name was Ousmane Dembele, and he's just 18, man. He's just 18. He's completed. He's ranked fourth in the whole wide world in the top five league for most dribbles completed behind Lionel Messi, Adama Traore, and Alain Saint Maximin. So, which should tell people stuff how good this person is, man. And yeah, his short numbers aren't great. He's played a decent amount of minutes in League One, but as it's been seen with wingers, as you mature, your short numbers get a little bit better because your decision making improves. And with a player who's already making so many dribbles uh, effectively, not just attempting but completing them effectively, it's only going to be looking on the way up.
Yeah, definitely quite an interesting point. But like now let's talk about De Bruyne. After UCL final, he's like literally his I guess he had an orbital fracture around his eye, and that thing usually takes 3 to 4 weeks to heal, like to be again medically fit. So do you think that if De Bruyne didn't start, or maybe let's say that if they if they have to play without De Bruyne, so how far can Belgium go without De Bruyne?
Yeah, I think they need him in the knockouts. If from the reports that I've heard or that I've read, Kevin De Bruyne has joined the Belgian side. He does not need any surgery,
Yeah.
as to speak, and he has joined. Also, he's a warrior of a man because he ate Rudiger's shoulder, and yeah. So I mean, Kevin De Bruyne is a world-class athlete. There is no doubt about it. Probably the world's best, most complete midfielder right now. He does everything elegantly, and like he is the best creating footballer right now in the world. And you cannot say how well or how bad a team will perform if they do not have their best midfielder.
Yeah.
Midfielder is a big part in football. So yeah, they need Kevin De Bruyne now. They if they are to go that far that they want to go, they definitely need Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay, so we are up with Belgium now. Let's move on to Denmark. What are your thoughts on
So
Denmark squad?
yeah, Denmark probably the second favorite to make it out of the group. Belgium are going to be a handful though, and in this group, if I see anybody handling them, it's probably Denmark. Denmark in the last World Cup they showed that they're no longer just a small side. They've got Premier League experienced players. They've got Bundesliga experienced players, and they've especially got a very capable captain and a loud captain and goalkeeper in Kasper Schmeichel. He's no longer just Peter Schmeichel's son. He is an entity of his own, and that is beautiful. Uh, Apart from that, they also have Christian Eriksen, who had an from a fallout at Inter. He on an overall level he had somewhat of a renaissance after a couple of free kicks and a couple of goals that he scored. Their forward line is tall and fast players, including RB Leipzig, Yusuf Poulsen, Yusuf Jurari Poulsen. I really like him, and I think he is one of the toughest player to face if it is going to be an aerial battle. He always comes out on top when the ball is put in the box. Apart from that, there is also Spurs' main one of the most important midfielder of the season in Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And one of their trump cards will definitely be Robert Skov of Hoffenheim, who literally can play anywhere. He plays at right wing. He played at right wing, and when he came to the club last season, he played at right wing. But now he can play. He plays at right back. He plays at center mid. He plays at right wing. He plays as a striker. So basically everywhere apart from a goalkeeper.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
definitely. Okay, so now let's move on to Russia. our favorite team, favorite country. Okay, so I mean, like Russia is not the best of the teams in the group, although it has Finland and Denmark. But Russia are capable of pulling off an upset. Like you can see in the World Cup 2018, they literally defeated Spain, although it was on penalties, but they defeated Spain. So yeah, Russia is capable of doing some major upsets, but if we're gonna look at their records, they have like literally not won a single Euro game since 2012 opener, and their record is not as good, I believe, as they perform. Like they are the best underdogs in this group. Like they can outperform even Belgium on their best days, definitely. But they're gonna finish probably third. Their chances for like moving forward are like very less, according to me. So
Yeah, true.
some key players to look out would be Golovin and Miranchuk, and there's this young player he's coming up, Sobolev. So these are the players who we have to watch and keep an eye on. So yeah, that's it for Russia. Now let's move on to Finland.
Finland, of course, debutants in the competition. Never been in the competition before. Almost single-handedly dragged on to the competition by Timo Pukki, who's back in the Premier League with Norwich this season, of course. Won the championship, and there's not much to say, to be fair. They scored 16 goals in the qualification round, out of which 10 were scored by Timo Pukki. Of course, that is a huge amount of goals for a single person. Only Cristiano Ronaldo and somebody else, I'm forgetting who scored
Probably
more.
Lewandowski, like if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Probably
could be,
Lewandowski.
probably. So yeah, Finland. It's a difficult group for Finland. Any group was going to be a difficult group, and it is for them to just, they have not. They've already made the nation proud, and if they cause any sort of upset, it is going to be history for them. At least.
Yeah. Okay, so let's wrap it up for Group B here only. So the standings for you, Group B, for your Group B, how it stands.
Yeah, it stands the way it was alphabetically. I think Belgium, Denmark, not Finland, Russia, and then Finland. Russia are a capable side. They've got some youngsters coming through. Sobolev would be a major factor when it comes to finishing. And I like Atalanta players. So Miranchuk is going to be a favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, for me also like the standings would be the same, Belgium topping the group. I would say Russia finishing second if they had their days. Otherwise, the same like Belgium, Denmark, Russia, and then Finland. Okay, so let's end this here only.